Hi, I'm Liam.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome back to Aspis Airsoft.
And today we're going to be looking at how to build the NAM kit.
March the 8th, 1965. US States Marines come ashore at Da Nang as part of the first wave of US combat troops in South Vietnam. The beginning of what would become a long and bloody conflict that would define an era of military and cultural history.
So, the Vietnam War.
Yep.
Something I see quite often at airsoft fields. A lot of players doing the kits, like the big M16s, like the helmets themselves. You know, all the nice kind of like green colours and stuff like that, which kind of define the era of pop culture.
Yeah.
You could say kind of defining of an era. You know, all the hippie movement and all that sort of stuff, music, etc.
Right on, man.
All that sort of thing that surrounds it. You know, like the whole sweeping the Huey helicopters and all this lot, and people hanging out the doors. That scene from Platoon going, as you get shot and stuff.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's the one.
Gave me nightmares as a kid, that shit. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was too young to see that film.
Good film though. Good film.
Amazing.
Good film if you want to pick up tips on how to. On the kind of look though, yeah.
Do you know what? That's what this whole kit is, and that's what's amazing about it is that it's such a versatile kit. I mean, there's two parts to this really. Is the first one being that you can get the whole kit from one store, Soldier of Fortune.
Yep. Yep.
Everything's in its own set, so the trousers, top, boonie hat are in their own set.
Yep.
Then you can get a full set of webbing. And then you can also get, if you wanted a different camouflage, you could want like the Erdal or the Tiger Stripe, you can also get that. But then the helmet, they do the complete set like this one, where you get the helmet, the liner, and the cover.
Yeah. Yeah, totally, yeah.
Links to all the items will be in the comments down below, so you can take a browse at your own leisure. But yeah, it's just really versatile kit. I mean, you see like Platoon, Full Metal Jacket there's so many varieties. You know, some people wear a flak jacket.
All Apocalypse Now sort of thing.
Apocalypse Now, yeah. It's like it's just again. There's no right or wrong answers with it really. If you want to wear tiger stripe bottoms with a green shirt, and go for more like a Marsoc look, absolutely fine.
Like Special Forces sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to create woods from Call of Duty, very easily done. I mean, you'll see in the pictures. I don't really like this. It doesn't suit the size of my head, the shape. I've got a peanut head, so I wear a bandana. But again. It's just the variation of looks, and it always looks cool, especially the more guys and girls that you go with. Yeah. The more people that are in this kit, it just looks amazing for Photosoft.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I've got to admit, I like. Obviously, you see a lot of pictures that have come back from obviously the actual war itself with these kind of helmets with the people. They've got the writing all over it, sort of thing. You've got the bullets, the kind of cards in the side, sort of thing as well.
All custom.
Oh yeah, all custom. Yeah,
everybody written their own thing on the helmet, and again, it's a little bit of expression like we talked about in the first video. The introductory is, you're making airsoft about you. Yes, we're doing a kit. Yes, we're trying to make it somewhat accurate, but we're not reenactors, so we're not going to the level of reenactment.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Making it look the part, but tailored to us and what we like and feel funny. I mean, it's just on the front here, but one of the things that I wrote is "don't get blown to," and then it was a peace sign with an S, plural S, so don't get blown to pieces. Love it. Made me chuckle for ages after writing that.
There's a lot of interesting little. What's this one? Oh, it's the Guns N' Roses thing. You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby.
You can't not, can you?
That's very true, man.
It's like the Valkyries. You can't not do a Vietnam kit. Not to say it's mandatory. Also, it's mandatory when you're running around in the kit to either shout "get some" or "tu buku." You have to. It's rude not to. It's disrespectful.
What's that one that Rambo used? What's that gun? You got like
M16.
One arm, it sort of thing.
Yeah,
you firing?
M16. You can't. I mean, you probably could if you was the size of Rambo, but.
Well, I don't know. With an airsoft gun, it sure couldn't be that bad, could it? Couldn't be that difficult.
It'd be less impressive though, wouldn't it? Because there'd be no recoil and belt fed. You'd just. What'd you do? What'd you do?
Act it out. Sit there like giving it all.
No, you can't. You can't stand that field and go like that. There's things that'll happen.
Bit weird.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Probably don't do that.
No,
don't take my advice on that one. That's fine.
But the other thing that's amazing about the Vietnam kit is the fact that you are limited to weapon systems in some sense. Again, you don't have to if you want to run a Vietnam kit because you think it looks cool, but then run an M4 or something, more power to you, but it obviously doesn't look sort of more authentic.
Yeah.
But you've got the M16 A1. You've got the old style Car 15. There's loads of different models. I think it was like this 573 or something like that, 553.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just a shorter M16 basically. What's down there? It's just collapsible stock. What else have you got? Thompson grease gun.
Yeah, all the World War II guns that came in from the World War II era.
In dribs and drabs. Yeah,
in dribs and drabs.
Yeah. Shotguns, trench gun.
Yeah, trench guns. Yeah,
You also run that. So there's a lot of variation, and obviously a classic. Just you can't see it because it's off shot, but the 1911, like the most gorgeous sidearm that ever existed. There's a lot of versatility there.
Yeah.
And again, if you wanted to run around with an M60, go for it. Braver man than me. Been there, done that, tripped up, not doing it again.
Bad times. Well, let's take a look at the kit and see what it's all about. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the basic Vietnam kit. Liam, do you want to run us through it?
Yeah, of course. So, basically, if we start with the clothing items, what you're seeing is a bush hat and a shirt. You do get trousers. It comes as a complete set from Soldier of Fortune, like I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Not saying that you wouldn't be able to browse around, get them off eBay or Epic Military or other sites. Soldier of Fortune was just my go-to. It's £90 for a complete set, which includes the bush hat, an unbadged shirt, and trousers. Then basically the webbing comes as a separate item. Again, complete set. So another £90. That gets you the belt and the yoke, 2 magazine pouches like you can see on the front, a single water bottle pouch on the rear, and then directly on the rear where you'd normally have like a kidney pouch would be your bum pack.
Okay. Alright, let's just have a quick look at the rear then.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you can see the rear. Liam, show us what it's all about.
You want to see my posterior? Any day of the week, baby. So, besides the poncho that you can see here, that's custom, which, again, at the end of this will show you how I run my own custom Vietnam build. This is the rear of the webbing, and the shirt and the hat. There's not much you can see in terms of the shirt and the boonie itself. It's just the third pattern flat OD green. There's no special features, no hidden pockets or anything. It's just workwear.
Yeah.
It's the rear of the webbing that's really got the most character, which is, like I said, the 2 water bottle pouches and the bum roll pouch.
Yep, I can see that. The one thing I can see as well, though, is the water bottle pouches are different materials. So, what's all that about?
So that's because the webbing set comes with 1 water bottle and 1 pouch, and you can, again, from Soldier of Fortune, buy additional pouches, mag pouches, compass pouches, first aid pouches, water bottle pouches if you want. It's just that at the time I didn't. Again, Airsoft is tailored to you and your outgoings, your incomings. I didn't have really the money to dump into a full kit, so I have LC2 webbing from my Delta kit, which you've seen multiple times.
Which we'll be doing a video on as well very soon.
Yes, we will indeed, because that is... If I was Italian, I could have done that better. So that's what it was. It was just really to save the sort of £15 that it costs, and I just stuck that on there. Again, the good thing with Vietnam is that because they had different patterns of kits, and when I say that, there was all a flat OD green. The pockets were a little bit different here and there, or some minor alterations. But you can get away with different shades of green throughout the whole kit, and it just looks better. And that's another thing that's amazing with this kit, is that time worn just makes it look so much better. Is you're getting down and dirty, you're getting soaked and soggy. One of our friends, he doesn't wash it.
No, it doesn't, which makes it look fantastic. It really does give it a really authentic, he's been in the jungle for months on end sort of look.
It's awesome. But saying that, is he does clean the kit. He just dry cleans it, hangs it, lets it dry, pats it all down, and then eventually he'll give it a wash. But he likes the stains to set in and make it look a little bit more authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really all it is for the rear of the kit. Again, it's very minimalistic. It's it's your working dress and a set of webbing. That is all it is, and then off shot of the camera is the helmet. So
which we'll take a look at right now as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have Liam's fully personalised Vietnam kit. Let's see what we've added to it.
So, the lid for a start. Again, like I said earlier, I don't really tend to wear the helmet all that much. It doesn't suit my shape of head. again, it just doesn't suit me. It's not that it's not comfortable. I mean, yes, it's heavy. It's a repro one.
Where from?
Soldier of Fortune again.
Okay.
So it's not an authentic M1. It is a Belgian. I don't know what it was, 58, 65, something like that. But it's near enough identical to the M1. Basically, it was £50 for the helmet, the plastic insert liner, which is brand new, and the helmet cover. And then obviously you just sort of customise it. A lot of this inspiration come from films, like I said earlier, you know, Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket. So there's elements to it that they don't really, you know, one for one represent that, but I just thought, that looks
the kind of dramatisation sort of thing.
Yeah, it's personalised. So, you know, we've got the playing cards on top. I do want one of the Marlboro SIG packets, you know, for the smokes. Because they had that a lot on the
and
oil.
the gun oil,
The gun oil, just again, time, finances, that sort of thing. Eventually I'll pick them up, but this is more of my generic look. So we've got obviously the helmet still pop. The working dress again, and this time bandolier. I got that off a friend. It's just awesome. I liked it. I saw it. I was like, I want one of those. He was like, yeah, have this one. Wicked. But they're actually really cheap. I think they're only about £10 to buy off for eBay. I mean, you can't see it all that much, but it's got caliber written on it and the US stamping, and they've just got foam inserts to make it look padded.
Right. Yeah. No, I can see you've had this little pouch in the torch as well. So those.
Iconic look again, isn't it?
Iconic look.
To be honest with you, it varies. It depends how I want to run the kit. Because sometimes I'll have a knife in the boot. Other times I sort of sheave it up here and take away this little first aid pouch.
Yeah, I saw a picture of you and Will behind the barricade, and you look like you're reaching for the knife.
I was doing exactly that until about 5 seconds later when somebody just came over the cover and went bang. So the knife is futile. There's no point using it. But it looked awesome, didn't it? That picture.
It is a nice picture. I like that picture.
Yeah, and Will had really altered that one to look good.
Yeah, with all the smoke in the background and stuff.
Photosoft.
That's
all it's about. So yeah, it's not much different. You know, again, it's a summertime kit, so you really have your sleeves rolled up. If you run this in winter, you're a braver man than me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be running this kit in winter. It is very minimalistic.
Yeah, it is, and it's very easy to wear out, which is, again, like I said, it's good going back to the more authentic look.
Yeah.
But this is a bonus again with the Vietnam kit, is that Soldier of Fortune, you look around on their website, you look around on eBay, Epic Military, where there's so many different bits, you know, dummy smoke grenades, dummy knives, ammo belts. You know, you can add whatever you want to this kit because, as you well know, Vietnam was just very sort of sporadic with how the troops dressed and organised themselves. You know, I was there for, was it 9 months, a year? So, you know, a year in a war zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's more than I want to do.
yeah, exactly. The one thing that I've not got, what I really would love, is a flak jacket. You know, like Joker off a Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
that's
that'd
a really
be really
big,
cool.
bulky piece of kit. They, to be honest with you, I can't seem to find them anywhere.
I've never seen anything like that ever.
A couple of our guys had one.
Where do they come from?
Just online.
Pick them up as and when they appear, sort of thing.
eBay mainly. They're about £100 to £150 though. That's the thing. And they're apparently really uncomfortable to wear. They're quite cumbersome and bulky.
Yeah, so kind of probably just for the photo look rather than the actual playability, I guess. Then
No, it just Well, yeah and no, because it looks awesome. To me, a Vietnam kit really should have a flak jacket. You don't look Vietnamish without a flak jacket. And then I'll dress up as a Vietnamese woman, ladyboy thing, and I'll stand next to you and I'll go, oh, saki long time, tu boku. We'll do that next time we run the kit together.
Fair, yeah. I need to still need to piece my kit together as well. So I'm learning from this as well because I'm still needing to put this particular kit together myself as well. We're
all learning. That's the thing is that, again, there's so much playability with the kit, and to be fair, I mean, you know, if you're going to go for like an M60.
Yeah.
You're not really going to have the weapon. You're just going to strap a dummy belt, ammo belt around you and run your M60. There's no need for the weapon, but whatever floats your boat, really.
Yeah, fantastic one. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what then. Let's move on from here then and take a look at the weapons.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so for an example of a weapon used in the Vietnam War, we are now going to be using Liam's Tokyo Marie M16 A1. So, give us a bit of a rundown on this one then, Liam.
It's not an M16 A1. It's an M6 Queen A1 because it is a goddess of a rifle. It's an M16 A1, so it was the first generation of M16. Really, after the war, they needed not an automatic weapon, so this is what they developed. Iconic with the triangular handguard that you can see on your side there.
Or this piece here, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much more triangle. I mean, if you tilt the rifle, you'll actually see the fact that it was uncomfortable to hold because it was flat on the bottom, but the sides obviously come up at a very steep point.
Yeah.
Which was quite a common complaint, really, from what I'm aware of. And then this is the older generation TM. So it's got a plastic body, which is why it's in more of the gunmetal grey colour, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see it, yeah.
Again, you can get different brands. You can get Cyma, and you can get a modern one with MOSFET in it, from the likes of Patrol Base, UK Airsoft. Averages around £200. Performs really, really well.
Yeah.
So you don't have
to do well.
Yeah, you don't have to have Tokyo Marui money. I mean, these are more like dodos now. I believe they're becoming harder and harder to get.
Yeah. Where was it you got this one from?
Action Hobbies, believe it or not. Some collector had it. Just some collector had a load of riffs that he'd never used on a wall. And I looked on the website one day and they just had it up on a flash sale, so I called them and I was like, Paul, who owns it, I believe he owns it.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, I need it. I need it more than I need my kids. So can you hold it to one side for me? And he was like, yeah. So I got it for an absolute bargain. But the riff itself is great, and it's one of those authentic looks. A lot of the Vietnam movies that you see, they have the M16 A1.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a very iconic rifle, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't bring it with me today, but I'm sure we can just ba-ding, add a picture. But the M14, is another secondary rifle that was used quite a lot. And a Thompson. I don't have a Thompson, but again, on screen now there should be a picture of a Thompson if Steve's done his editing right.
Yes, I shall get a picture of that up as well. And a grease gun.
And a grease gun, yeah. Wasn't called a grease gun because it was greasy though. Unlike my ex. Another thing about this M16 though is the flash hider at the end. So the later models had the birdcage one, which was it was rounded on the end. It looked like a birdcage. That one's like the stick of death. You could prod somebody with it and just rip a hole in them. And I like that.
Always good. Better than a bayonet.
No, I put my bayonet on.
Okay, well let's just take a look at the sidearm for the Vietnam kit now then. Okay, and onto the sidearm part of the kit is the Colt 1911 A1, the little CO2 pistol that I managed to pick up the other week. I'm pretty pleased with so far.
Hashtag Hipling.
Absolutely.
Wow. So I see you got the Parkerized version as well.
Yeah, no, it had to be, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
For me anyway. Others might feel different about it. They might want something different, but for me, it was the Parkerized version of the gun itself, which is obviously from the First World War, Second World War, isn't it?
I have no idea. I'm not a gun nerd. I mean, I know bits, but not a lot. But yeah, it's gorgeous Parkerized. 911 in general is just a gorgeous 45 caliber pistol.
ACP.
Yeah, why poke holes?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can blow holes. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, it's like one of the most commonly known pistols of the Vietnam War, isn't it? I mean, the only two that I know of was the 1911, the A1, and then the Smith & Wesson, the 38 caliber. I think they called it like a policeman special or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Basically a revolver, which I've not seen too many of in airsoft, but
no, you don't get that many. So 6 shots or that sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's 6 awesome shots, isn't it?
To be fair, they do look good. I do like revolvers, but I don't know. To me, when you're in that kind of situation, it's not going to be. It's going to be a bit of a downer if you fire off a load of shots and then all of a sudden, when you need it, after you fired 6 shots, you've got nothing left. Which obviously isn't true to life, because obviously these magazines hold 9 shots for this particular kind, the Colt 911.
Yeah, but obviously they're airsoft ones, so they all I don't know, 20 or something like that.
Something like that.
But I can never get through 5 because my mag always purges.
Which is a fair another point about, about making sure that when you've got a pistol, to keep it in good condition, otherwise you might get mag purges.
I don't abuse mine, and I've had 2 mag purges from 2 brand new mags, so that is not me. But again, the 1911 is an absolutely gorgeous weapon. Not a necessity. Again, this is personalising it for you and what you want out of Airsoft. Steve just likes the finer things in life.
And the finer things in life for me are the Colt 1911 A1.
Yeah, which is an absolutely gorgeous weapon system that I might take home with me after this, Steve.
No, you will not.
It's worth a try, though. How fast can you run?
Not as fast as I used to be able to, I can say that much.
But again, simplistic weapon system to work on. I'd say the only downside is really if you're going from brand to brand, so like Army Armament, and then is yours Action Army?
It's Cybergun.
Cybergun? Okay, so yeah, Cybergun and Army Armament, the mags aren't compatible. If you look at the magwell on the rear there, the angle of where your CO2 would go in is completely different to each brand. So the issue that you've got is the angle of the feed. So you just really need to be sure that when you're buying that particular gun, that that brand of gun, that the mags are going to sit well with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I did see that there was. I think it was Will offered a detail about where to get replacement mags from. They cost about £30. I think they were £30 to £40 for a replacement mag, was it?
There's a lot of places. Again, keep naming them, but like Patrol Base, UK Airsoft, Bullseye Country Sport in Ireland can get them very easily and send them over to you, and you usually get them. From Ireland, the stuff I've ordered from there, you literally get it within 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, the pistol itself, I think, was probably about £120, I think it is.
Yeah, which is about right for any sort of sidearm, unless it's a high capper, and then basically they should give them away to you because they're disgusting. It's like a 1911 on steroids and then Frankenstein.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but you wouldn't take Gillian Anderson and then swap a face, would you?
Very true. That's fair.
Okay, thanks for joining us for today's kit creation. Hope you've really enjoyed it. If you do have any questions about the kit at all, by all means, drop us a comment in the notes below in the comment section, and we'll get back to you on that one.
Yep, or alternatively, you can message us on our Facebook page or our Instagram if you want to keep it a little bit more private and personal.
Yeah, we're going to be doing more kit reviews, so don't forget to stay tuned with us. Drop us a like and subscribe to keep up with those. What's our next one, Liam?
Oh, it's a special one that's close to my heart. We're doing the Black Hawk Down Delta kit. Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Dropping into Mogadishu.
Oh, yes.
Excellent. Okay, well, how shall I end this video? What do you reckon?
What?
What do you reckon about ending this video? Got it. Aspis out.
What? That's not in the script.